أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Dear viewers everywhere on the globe, I greet you with the best greeting that ever been known to humanity. The greeting of peace, the greeting of love, the greeting that aims to spread peace on this planet. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace be unto all of you. This episode is similar to the previous episodes or similar episodes that talk about one main theme, which is reflection. All the verses that you have listened to in the introduction of this episode talk about one thing, talk about one verse in the Quran that says, don't they reflect upon the verses of the Quran, or do you have luck on your heart? Simple as this, says that you need to look deep and examine and test and explore and verify and study these verses of the Quran, not just pass by them and read them. You have to understand them deeply and reflect upon them. One type of reflection when you understand the text is to ask yourself, am I one of those whom the text talk about or not? It may be me, because the Quran talks about you and talks about me and talks about everybody. Perhaps we are meant by this. Yes, it is you that you're meant by this. Yes, it is you that you are meant by this. Everybody, and this is a good sign. When you listen to a verse and when you read it, you say that, yes, it talks to me. I know that it's me. I know it's me. This is what Umar ibn Khattab, this is what every good Muslim does. When he listens to a verse, you would say, yes, Almighty Allah, yes, talks about me here. Yes, I need to verify that. And I need to work on myself. And I need to improve myself. It's a reminder to me. And I thank you, Allah, for giving me this opportunity. This is a type of reflection that's needed here. Let's see the verse first. It's two verses here, one verse here from one chapter. It is chapter number 31, and the verse is, or the ayah is number 18. You can look at the screen and you see how it reads. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولا تصعر خدك للناس ولا تمشي في الأرض مرحا إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور. The meaning of this verse is, this is the translation of it, and turn not your face away from men with pride or with bragging, nor walk in insolence through the earth. Verily, Allah likes not each arrogant boaster. Here, when you try to reflect upon this verse, you will find that, first of all, these are tips of advice of Luqman to his son. And it tells you a very important message, that this Quran is a comprehensive book. This religion is so comprehensive that it covers everything in the universe. It covers the laws, it covers the worship, it covers the relationship between people, it covers everything, it touches upon everything. Because it's guidance, that it is the final message. So it's very simple to understand that it encompasses everything in this universe. Anything that happens and will happen, you will find reference to it. What should I do in that situation? You will find the answer in the Quran. Otherwise, it will be an incomplete book. This is the sound and the deep belief of every Muslim that this book is the guidance and it is so comprehensive. For example, this is an example. It talks about the etiquettes of behavior here. How should you deal with people? It talks about even how you look at them. Should you look at their face? Should you turn your face away from them? Should you make an eye contact? Should you do this? Should you do that? Should you do... It gives you all these details in the Quran and in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Amazing religion. It left nothing unturned. Everything is covered there. And you can see that here. It tells you that when you look at people, when you deal with people, don't turn not your face away from them with arrogance and pride or bragging. When you deal with people, look at them. Look at their face, especially if they are men. Don't have eye contacts with women. You have eye contacts with men. This is the Islamic etiquette. Look at them in the face. Don't show off. Don't brag on them, because this is very insulting. Don't look down upon them, because people don't like this. And of course, Almighty Allah, as the verse ends with, that He doesn't love those people who walk arrogantly, who talk arrogantly, who like to show off. Allah doesn't like those people. And of course, human beings, an average human being doesn't like that. You would find all the people love the people who humble themselves to them. And even don't walk arrogantly on the street. Don't exaggerate this in your words and your acts, because people don't like this. And again, Islam gives you this picture, and you try to compare it with the picture of the Prophet ﷺ, the profile of the Prophet ﷺ. The profile of the Prophet ﷺ was totally opposite to that. He used to humble himself to everyone. When you get into a session where the Prophet ﷺ sits and you don't know him, you cannot distinguish him, because he doesn't have a specific place to sit at. He doesn't have a throne to sit at. He doesn't have a specific or higher place than the other people. Now you can know the leader or the chief or the employer or the head or the CEO or the president, yes, from the place he sits at. You distinguish him. You say that this is the one because his place is distinguished, is different from others. This is not the case with the Prophet ﷺ. The case he's used to sit in a circle, and when you sit in a circle, nobody can decide that who is who. You don't know who is leading that, yes. But it is the people, yes. It shows you how, to what degree he humbled himself. Yes, to the level that even when he accepts a guest, and even this guest, if not a Muslim, he would give him space to sit beside him, and to sit even on the right of the Prophet, which is a sign of respect in the Arabian or in the Islamic culture. When you compare this with the arrogant people, with the behavior of the Prophet ﷺ, you would see a huge gap and huge difference between the two of them. The two of them, simply, he was the embodiment. He was the example, the practical example of these Quranic guidelines to the human beings. So if you want to see Quran in action, if you can say this, Quran in action, you look at the behavior of the Prophet ﷺ, how he dealt with human beings. He never, ever looked down upon a human being. He never ever despised a human being. Not only that, he used to advise people, his followers, and every human being, don't despise anything. Even the small act of another human being, don't despise it, because it may be beneficial. Don't despise or insult human beings. And he never insulted a human being. Compare this model example, and this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected the Prophet to be the final messenger. He is the best of the best of the best of the best. That's why he was selected for the final religion. Again, You can learn lots of lessons from this. A lot of people despise each other and show arrogance in different ways, not necessarily by turning their face away, sometimes by the rude language that they use. They don't select the words. And the Prophet ﷺ used to select the best words. And even when he used to be asked, how did you do this? He said that I learned this. It was taught to me by Almighty Allah to select the best words. That's why he used to select the best words that would have positive impact to the people. He was always positive in his words. So these forms of behavior, of etiquettes that is disliked by Almighty Allah and disliked by human beings should be avoided. And as I mentioned, they take different forms by even the tone of your language. Sometimes it's high, the tone is high and it has negative effect. You avoid that. The way it looks, your features when you talk to some people, yes, you need to be smiling at their faces because this gives them hope and gives them positive impressions. And that's what's needed. The Prophet ﷺ used to say, to tell the companions, if you cannot do anything positive, the least thing that's required from you is a smile on your face to show it to the people that you deal with. Because the Prophet ﷺ wants to build up a safe and healthy society to live in. A society that you love to live in, that you will lacking that. And you can see how Quran and this great religion cares for the feelings of human beings. Even the feeling you cannot insult them. This is just an example that tells you not only that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like this and hates this, but it is all the human beings, because this is the norm of average human being. We ask Almighty Allah deeply from our hearts to make us of those who can apply this regularly and consistently on daily basis, so that we can be good representation of this wonderful religion in order to invite other people to think of it and consider it, hoping that they will be saved from hellfire and they would have access to paradise. This is your presenter, Dr. Mamdouh Nuruddin Muhammad, and I end up with greeting you with peace. Peace be unto all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها
أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها أفلا